Welcome to the very first Burnout Studios Open Comedy Mic. Yeah, thank you all for coming. Really, this was quite the task to put together. I won't lie, this has been since January setting up this studio, and you know, the weirdest thing, I was making the flyers and running through them and you know, really trying to do a good job. You all saw it. I kind of, as JJ so eloquently said, I kind of fat-fingered it when I was typing it up, and it said doors, D-O-R-R-S, open 8 to 9. And you know, I was really disappointed in myself. I thought, man, these people must think I'm illiterate. And it brought me back to a time when I was illiterate. A time I remember fondly. That time being kindergarten. Oh boy. No one really caught on though at that point, right? So here's the thing. I loved the Captain Underpants books. Quite the saga. Quite the saga. Really just, they made a movie and everything. Recognize. So my dad would read them to me every night, and I loved them. And then I would go in the next day for show and tell, and I would show the class these fantastic novels. And I'd read a chapter out of them. Again, right now I'm functionally illiterate. Everyone thought I was a kid genius at that point. So I'd read a chapter to the whole class and during show and tell, and then after I came down, and you know, Mrs. Hurd, my kindergarten teacher, came up to me and said, you know, Josh, you're really killing it out here with all these readings. I think we want to call you up to the big leagues of first grade. That's a D1 offer, guys. For a kindergartner, it's pretty big news. So they had this test. It was a reading test and a spelling test. So, you know, I said, okay, coach, come tomorrow, knock this shit out of the park. Fuck yeah, let's go. Go home, get a good sleep, tell the parents they're proud, mom gives me a kiss, go off to school the next day. Talking a lot of shit. Go in, take the test. We start with the spelling. She asked me some questions. Josh, how do you spell this? Josh, how do you spell that? Josh, how do you spell the? We only did that half of the test. She said, you know, I think we're done. You can go home. And so I went home and I thought, man, I'm so good they didn't even need to see if I could read. I know exactly what I'm doing. So I walk in the door and I look at my mom and she looks at me with just this brimming smile. Josh, how'd you do? What'd you do? You spell any good words? Any big ones? And I said, Mom, I spelled the word the. She said, okay, what else you spell? Mom, I spelled the word the. And that's when I saw the truest look of disappointment on my mom's face. Since then, it's never been replicated. And it came to be known that I was actually just memorizing everything that my dad was reading the night before and then spitting it back out verbatim, just to the class, just straight up. So I guess you could say I was a really good listener, at that age at least. But all I ask of all of you is that you guys can be really good listeners for our upcoming comics. Okay, so it's gonna be 5-minute sets for each comic, and opening the show is the very funny Percy Benedict.
Hello. I'm going to open with a story that is, to me, quite funny, but to anybody who, you know, cares for my health and well-being is probably not. I almost died a few minutes ago, and I want to make it very clear that I have possibly more near-death experiences than anybody else I know. Which is really funny to me because it just means to me that there is some higher power that has tried to kill me hundreds, thousands of times even, and I just keep besting them. At this rate, I'm more powerful than God. I don't even know if I can die. But I almost did, because I took a sip of a smoothie. that had a little bit of pineapple in it. I am quite deathly allergic to pineapple. I discovered this allergy 2 years ago during Pride, when I was drinking a nice little mocktail at Mellow Mushroom, a pizza place geared towards stoners and college alcoholics. And I drank an entire pineapple mocktail, ate 2 slices of pineapple, turned to my best friend and the person who I went on one date with to Pride and then never spoke with again. I think I need to go to the hospital. And they took me to CVS, and I took a couple Benadryl, and I felt better. So just now, I took a little sip of my smoothie that was not supposed to have any pineapple in it, and I realized the taste, and I'm like, ah, shit. So I tossed it, and now I'm just winging it. I feel nothing. Whatever shock my body may be in has not transferred to my brain yet, so I'm fucking bawling. I've almost died in quite a few accidents. Most of them involve water. But I think the funniest one, is when nature struck back at me and my mother. So for context, how many of you are familiar with the concept of an elk? Yeah. They're basically just deer on steroids. They are insanely powerful, beefy deer. And when I was about 9 or 10 years old, driving home from a family party, my mom happened to hit one with her car. Totaled the car. I was in the back seat, my brother and I, killed on sight. That elk did not stand a chance against my mother's 2011 Subaru Forester, which was supposed to be my car. You know, 9-year-old me was really excited about that. You know, a few years pass, we have another car, my mother remarries, and she's driving me home from school. And the route that my school is on is right next to a lake. And we'll say the lake is here, road's here, cliff face right here. And I'm sitting in the passenger seat for the first time in my life. I'm 12 years old, I'm having a fucking blast. And I look out the window, and I see an elk skidding down the side, and it rams the passenger seat right next to me. It breaks the mirror off the car. It's hanging on by 2 wires. My mom stops the car. She's freaking out. She's checking me to make sure if I'm okay. And we get out of the car. We look around. And that elk just got up, shook its head, walked on down to the lake, drank some water, went out onto one of the islands, ate some grass, and I didn't sit in the front seat for another year. I have a lot of very funny experiences with my parents. That's one of the first things they ask you about in therapy is what's your relationship with your parents like. I smoke weed with my dad, and this should not have come as a surprise to me that my dad would one day want to smoke weed with me. He's been smoking since before I was born. I started stealing his pipe and his weed when I was 16. He put 2 and 2 together once I brought home a pen for the first time in my life. And all break, my dad was saying, let's smoke, come smoke with me. Do you know how fucking weird it is to get high with your parents? The whole time, we're out there in the snow, and my father is sitting jeans-assed on a snowy chair, joint in hand, and he goes, Percy, I think I made the right decision divorcing your mother. And I said, whoa! What do you mean by that, Michael? And he said, well, your mom never let me smoke weed. And now look at this, and he puts his arm around me and he goes, I'm smoking weed with my favorite kid. And I say, that's excellent. Is this one of your dreams come true? And I look in his eyes and he's welling up with tears and he says, you know what? It is. Because that means I'm a cool dad. And fuck dude, he sure is. He taught me how to swear. One of my very first memories is saying the word fuck. When I was a very young child, my father worked from home, and he would swear like a goddamn sailor, and I have one very vivid memory of sitting in my childhood bedroom, looking up at my closet and going, I'm not wearing that fucking outfit tomorrow. I think it's fucking stupid. And just imagine I was 5. I think that's my time, so good night everybody. Give a big round of applause.
Jesus Christ, Percy, you have a cool dad. I don't smoke weed. You know my dad took my edibles on accident once? It's a real thing. Freshman year of college, he called me and he was like, I don't know what these marshmallows are, but damn. Speaking of crazy experiences, here's a weird one, but he sure is awesome. Christian Pensa!
going, everybody? All right. Four things about me. 4 facts. First fact, I'm kind of a history buff. Like, I'm a little bit of a history buff. I'm kind of into history. I think it's really interesting that we have, like millennia of mistakes that we've made that we could be learning from, but in 2025 we're still making the same mistakes. Or like, for instance, in like November 2024. Fact number 2, second fact. I think we've had a lot of really wacky Republican presidents before. I think the current one is pretty wacky, but I think he's only the wackiest that we've had since Dick. Fact number 3, I'm a really big believer in the power of edutainment, which leads us to fact number 4. I'm going to explain the Watergate scandal in a series of limericks. Old Richard Nixon was stressed. His campaign was becoming a mess. So he hired some criminals to spy on the liberals. Alas, they were caught by the feds. And thus, a sticky situation. Dick faced many accusations. So he crossed both his digits, went fully pernicious, and said, "Trust me, I had no affiliation." The Washington Post was approached by a figure, a strange sort of goat. To stay inconspicuous and fully ambiguous, he said, "You can just call me Deep Throat." Deep Throat spilled all the beans and had old Richard Nixon impeached. So he made like a tree and gave us 2 weeks and said, "So long, America." Thanks. So that's about all of my time. I hope you've enjoyed all my replies. It's a strange way to tell a political tale, but nowhere near as bizarre as Dick's crimes. Thank you.
Hey, to the point and funny. That was a lot of fun. Let's see. Who we got next? We have Karan Brar.
Everybody, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Shit. To be honest, I got no material prepared at all. Like, I just came back from a basketball game like a couple of hours ago. On the, what's it called? The fitness center, there's like a bunch of ice on the basketball field. And then my boys and I were just playing basketball on ice. And we were just slipping, sliding, playing. It wasn't a gay experience, trust me. It was just having fun. Let's see. I want a more interactive experience with you guys today, I think. I want to talk with you and really get to know you guys. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't want to be called on, you can just give like this or like this. Or anything. Let's see. Today's topic. Let's see. We can keep it nice and light. First we got classes. Is that cool? Yeah. All right. I like your outfit, dude. It's fucking slay. What's your name?
Matt.
Matt. Nice to meet you, Matt.
Meet you.
What's your major?
Journalism.
Journalism. Okay. Nice. What do you plan to do with like a journalism major?
Not make money.
You sure looks like you make a lot of money with that outfit, dude.
Thanks, I love it. Hopefully become like an entertainment correspondent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, I don't know what that is, but it sounds great.
Hey, my family doesn't either. So
Hey, that's my boy, dog. I appreciate the hustle. Let's see, what else do we got? Any raise of hands? So you guys got your shit together and it's like... what about you? What's your name? Cassie. Okay, what do you do, Cassie? What's your major?
PR.
PR.
Yeah.
What's PR again?
Public relations.
Public relations. Okay. All right. What do you want to do with public relations?
Entertainment.
Entertainment. Damn, everyone wants to do entertainment. Okay. So what do you want to do within the entertainment industry? What's the thing?
I want to work in TV, like streaming.
Streaming. Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of stream?
Like, you know.
Next. Let's see. Up next. We're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving right along. We have the very funny, very sweet Kira Osborne.
Hi guys. Oh god, it's already
already happening. I was gonna bring up that I realized earlier today that I've unintentionally cosplayed as like a little Victorian child today. I'm suddenly very sick. And I keep coughing, and I'm wearing rags, and I don't get paid enough. Sorry. Anywho, now that we're getting that out of the way, my dear roommate Sophia is back there, right behind, and she was the one who spoke up earlier. I need to know, or else it would keep me up. What would you have said if Karan had spoken to you?
What would I have said? I would have said that my name is Sophia.
Oh God. Well, anyways, I'll be honest. I'm a little like nervous. I thought there were gonna be more women here, and something happened. The gods aligned, and I'm the only one you're gonna see tonight. So shout out, girls. But no, it's like there's something so scary about being alone. I realized a couple weeks ago that I'm truly to my core like a pack animal. I can't be alone for shit. Like, sorry, you want me to walk from the content suite to the student center alone? I need a buddy. Like, it's so bad. It goes so far beyond like, oh, if all your friends like would jump off a cliff, would you too? I would jump off a bunch of cliffs. Nope, fuck. I would jump off a cliff if a bunch of strangers jumped off a cliff. Like, if I was just standing around, like, enjoying nature or whatever, shout out Percy Benedict, also from Colorado. A lot of cliffs there. If I was just standing around and I saw a bunch of people jumping off a cliff, I'd be like, shit. Is it like, am I missing out on something? Like, did they not tell me? Is it jump off a cliff day? Like, I'm confused. So yeah, and that's like not even really a necessarily like hypothetical story. This one time I was in high school and I was out in like the like town square with my friends. You know how you do when you're in high school and you're in like a small town, you're like, guys, let's go to the town square. It's gonna be so fun. And then you just like walk around, you do nothing, you buy nothing. Anyways, that's not a part of the story. So we were all there, it was me and all my friends, and our friend's weird boyfriend who was always there. His name's Andrew. Anyways, you'll get to know him. But anywho, he, we're like crossing the street and we're in the middle and there are cars coming. And like I have gone to a place where I don't trust myself at all. And I agree with absolutely anything that other people will tell me. Like I am the most gullible person I know. So we're all like standing there waiting to like cross the street and there are these cars coming. And Andrew like leans in really close to me and he goes, go, 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 go. And so I'm like, something happens and I'm like, oh, it's time to go. There's supposedly cars coming. And I go to step out into the street. And this man, to this day, I think, what on earth possessed him to say what he said next? He grabs me and pulls me back in. And you'll never find out. So, he grabs me and pulls me back in and he goes, God, you're submissive. What? What do you mean? Oh my God! So, I'll be honest, I can't remember what I said next. I think I just probably stood there in shock. Number one, that I almost died. No. Number one, that he said that. Number two, that I had just almost died. And like that happened like 4 years ago, and I still think about it all the time. But in case you guys were wondering, he was cheating on our friend the whole time. And he sells shrooms now out of his garage, and he has 4 cats. And he's the manager of a chicken restaurant. So, in ways, he really is. I guess, I don't know. Anywho, if you guys saw me at Zeta open mic a couple months ago, you'll know exactly what I'm about to pull up. This is my favorite blog. It's called Petticoats and Pistols. It's run by a bunch of women with the most insane names, and they just post about the West and romance. So let's see, what did they post today? Rhonda, you've won a free ebook copy of Mrs. Pettigrew's Valentine's Match. Oh my God, someone find Rhonda Pierce right now. She's the winner of Kit Morgan's new book. Oh, let's find out. Let's find out about what this book is. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, whoa, there's so much going on. Okay, there's also a history lesson on Denver. Oh, Mrs. Pettigrew's Valentine's Match is about... This is so much. Oh, they are typing novels today. Good Lord, it was a lot easier last time. When they were just like, haha, new book out, don't worry, they don't have sex in it, we're all happy. They just take care of little horses. Anyways, side note, I had a dream the other night that I was a little horse boy. I haven't stopped thinking about it since. That's all I've got for you guys. Thank you.
I want to read one of those books. I don't know if it's just me, but I mean, when I wake up, I think about horses sometimes, and you know, I want to know more. To be educated, that is the way to lead into our next very educational. I'm assuming I heard something about props, so we're gonna get right into this. Jake Shinetti.
Yeah!
Poopy, am I right, guys?
Yeah!
Poop. I eat poop, like, all the time. I'm always eating poop. Poop for breakfast. Poop for lunch. Poop for a midday snack. Poop for dinner. Diarrhea sometimes. I'm so serious, though. I'm so serious. Like, I eat shit. Whoa! What's my heart doing? Whoa! Whoa! Oh, it's just me being silly. I actually eat poop, like as I was saying before. In high school, they call me Peter Wiener Poop Eater, because I would always eat poop all the time. All right. Pause. Here's my impression of a dog trying to purchase a house. So, what are you looking to purchase this house? What was that? I couldn't understand you. Are you looking to purchase this house? Yeah, remember that? You shoved so much poop in my mouth. That I did. It's brags like I shoved so much shit in the all brown. Give Osaki a one-way ticket to Poop Town, USA. Good, Saki. That's enough from you. So, I had a test yesterday. The whole time I was like, no. I got a test. No, not a test. I hate tests. Don't you guys also hate when you have a test? Yeah, right? You guys hate tests? Yeah, you're like, oh no, a test, not a test. I fucking hate tests, guys. Fucking hate tests. I feel like I might have to stop eating poop. I don't even like the taste. I don't know why I do it. I just feel like I have to eat poop or something bad will happen to my family and like someone will die.
There we go. Okay. Wow. Wow. I've heard of dietary problems, and then I don't even know what to say. I mean, hey, they say the first time you read it, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's the second time it kills you.
I've heard that. Oh no. I've heard
They
that.
say a hat on a hat. That sounds like a shit on a shit. So, anyway, following that up is the very talented, very artistic Boston Paquette.
Hello everyone, my name's Boston Paquette and I'm a farting major. Do this. Do it. As my shirt says, I eat dandruff. So while I'm up here, everyone please pass around this bag. And shake out your hair. Put all the dandruff in the bag. I'll be eating all your dandruff after the show, so I'm gonna pass out the bag now. They're shaking. Make sure that goes around, because like my shirt says, I eat dandruff. So I took my car to the mechanic. I took my car to the mechanic the other day. I had a flat tire. When I arrived, every single employee there was a monkey, like an actual monkey. I asked them if they could fix my flat tire, but instead all they were like, ooh ee ah ah, ooh ooh ah ah ah, because they were actually monkeys at the place that I went to fix my tire at. I guess they're doing monkey business. Well, you guys clapped, but I didn't hear a lot of laughs, so I'm gonna assume you guys didn't understand the joke. So it's funny because the word monkey business, which usually means silly, mischievous acts, was described to a actual place of work in the real life. This is obviously very unexpected and silly because monkeys aren't animals you'd expect to be working at a car dealership because you would think that it would be real people, but instead they had monkeys. And monkeys can be pretty badly behaved, so this is why the joke works so well.
Oh shit.
As I drove here today, I realized it's pretty crazy. Parking lots are everywhere, and you can never drive around without seeing one. I agree. Some of them are big, some of them are small, some are like mediums. Where's the bag? Why the bag stop there? Sorry. Did it go to the back?
It did, yeah. Everyone should
One more time around. It's dry. The heat's drying. You'll get your head like nice and like gross. So yeah, like some are big, some are small, some are medium sized. But I don't like parking spots where there's no lines because then I can't see them when I'm parking. Like that reminds me so much of my ex-girlfriend. Just a reminder, make sure the dandruff. So you guys are passing it. I want you to like itch. Can you please itch your head into the bag? Yeah. So similar to my ex-girlfriend and also the monkeys. As I was driving here, my friend David said he didn't do his laundry. But if he doesn't do his laundry, he's not gonna have clean clothes. And if he doesn't have clean clothes, then he can't go to class. Unless he wants to go to class smelling like stinky farts. Oh, that reminds me of my ex-girlfriend too. Wait, no, you guys are gonna like this one. And yeah, so my name is Boston James Paquette. I live at 48 East Town Road, Freetown, Massachusetts, 02717. My phone number is 508-441-0507.
Well, you say you can say whatever you want at an open mic, and then people say whatever they want at an open mic. So that literally happened. Still trying to wrap my head around that. Really a mind-expanding experience, but Boston, I can't wait to see it. Whatever comes out of this, just funny shit.
Thanks.
See? Anyway, coming up next is the very funny, very talented Matt Cohn.
Hold on. It is very hot in this room, and I realize I also have a funny little t-shirt gimmick. Don't worry, I'd never expose my midriff in front of more than 5 people. Okay, we're good. And there we go, starting electrical fire. Perfect. Okay. My mom got me this shirt that you're seeing now. Life is Good is very pro stoner, I guess. Yeah, Christmas gift. My stepdad got me condoms for Christmas for the 2nd year in a row. He was happy to find out that I didn't even use the first pack. So that being said, I have 2 packs of Trojan Ultra Ribbed condoms. So if anyone wants to hit me up and see who can put them on their penis for longer, I'll be handing out my phone number after the show. Anyways, I'm sorry if my vibe's a little off. I have the Banana Boat song from the end of Beetlejuice stuck in my head, and it's been affecting me. Oh, yeah, you're familiar with the Banana Boat song. Thank you. Yes. Day-o. And where do you want to go? You guys have to rewatch the movie. But I don't really have anything funny to say. I made an observation recently. I recently rewatched the 1941 film The Wolf Man.
Yeah!
Yeah, we love. And I noticed something very interesting about this movie, because the like inciting incident of the movie is that this main guy who's going to turn into a werewolf. He gets home after his brother dies, and his dad has this giant telescope. And this guy's first thing that he does with the telescope is immediately he finds a woman in her window and just stares at her for a while. And then he finds out that she works in like a jewelry store. So he goes to the jewelry store and goes, "Hey, I've been watching you through my telescope. Would you like to go on a midnight walk with me?" And she was like, "Yeah, I guess." And it really got me thinking, like, there's so, like, maybe it was just the old movies, but like it seems like back then you could go up to a woman and be like, "I've been following you. Will you marry me?" And she'll go like, "Yeah." And I was incredibly high when I watched this movie. I'm like, what? At what point were we like, yeah, that's not okay? Like, at what point was it not okay that if you liked someone that you just like followed them home, you know? And I was thinking it probably has to do with one of my favorite serial killers, the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah!
Yeah! I have to, hold on. I should have brought my own stool. I have one at home.
We'll have one next time. The stool's it's in the budget.
Amazing. You guys, hot off the press, there's gonna be a stool. So, I've been reading this Zodiac book, and it's a very scary book, incredibly scary book. However, there is one part of the Zodiac book that is genuinely out of a sitcom. And I'm gonna read it to you verbatim. So this is a chapter dedicated to the suspect, Andrew Todd Walker. And they really think this guy was the Zodiac Killer, so this is what they did. Quote, "The detectives then embarked on a series of schemes to get more evidence against the suspect. Palm prints." This should be good. The investigators had an associate wait near Walker's workplace. they had put casts on both of the friends' arms and placed a small and large goldfish bowl on the storefront ledge. As Walker approached on the way to work, the associate stepped forward and said, "Excuse me, sir, can you give me a hand with these fish bowls? My car is just down the street," which nowadays sounds like someone a tactic someone would use to kill. Anyways, back to the book. Quote, Walker looked the man up and down. Then he looked at the two water-filled fish bowls. "I guess so," he said, picking up the large bowl. Walker hadn't held the fish bowl more than a few seconds when the man shouted, No, I meant the small one." The associate lunged forward, thrust the ends of both casts around the outer surface of the bowl, parentheses as to not smudge the prints, and went sprinting off, splashing as he went and leaving behind a very perplexed Walker. Here's the kicker. Unfortunately, because of the water, no part of any print adhered to the glass surface. So yeah, that guy didn't do it. And so, yeah, highly recommend the Zodiac book. If you're in Canada, it's $11.99, and if you're here, it's $8.99. Damn it. Sorry. I'm sorry. This is the Banana Boat song. I told everyone to not call me because I was doing 5 minutes of stand-up at Burn.com. Just give me 1 second. Hello? This is he. Are you serious? No. How? When did this happen? Am I doing like a... No, okay, yeah, no, I get it. You want me to... Alright, fine. Alright, yeah, love you too, bye. It is with a heavy heart that I announce that President Kennedy has been shot. So please pay your respects. Lyndon B. Johnson will be taking the reins. Was that the first leg or the
We're running
second?
under. Do you have another joke?
I do.
Go for it.
So last one to finish off. I realized I'm like, oh my god, doing comedy in front of a bunch of college students. This is like perfect. Like we're all in the same boat right now. So I've spent a few months crafting what I believe to be the most relatable college joke. So 100% of the audience is going to understand this. I do have to read it. I haven't memorized yet. Have you guys taken a class with Professor Name?
Yeah! Oh my
God, what a crazy individual, am I right?
Yeah!
Isn't it so weird that they always quirky character trait? And then, once you think class is over, they different yet equally quirky character trait?
Yeah!
Damn, that class is really crazy. That's why I always show up drunk to class. I never leave for class without getting totally hammered first. You know, like absolutely blasted, really sloshed, incredibly inebriated. It's not a good class unless I black out. I've never gone to class sober. Even if I have an 8 a.m. class, I make sure to grab the nearest bottle of alcohol I see and chug it, like I have a personal vendetta against my liver. I think my indulgence with alcohol may have something to do with my relationship with my father. At a very young age, I would see him drink at a very constant rate. I realized fairly recently that he would finish off a bottle of vodka while he would drive me to preschool every day. I think about those moments often, and it's really starting to hit me how much this has shaped who I am today. The images of my father are burned into my brain more than I'd like. It's the last thing I see before I go to sleep. And then, when I wake up, I look at the clock and realize I've overslept. As I get ready for the day, I think about my father, questioning if I'm already too far gone. Then, it's off to another class with Professor Name. And you guys know Professor Name, am I right?
I think we've all had a Professor Name before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. It's the last comic of the night. Very, very funny. JJ Vogt!
I was thinking about what I learned recently, which is that ED can stand for either eating disorder or erectile dysfunction. I don't know. I think it's pretty funny because, like, either way, nothing's getting in your guts. This is awesome. I can't believe how funny everyone is. This is my favorite on-campus activity this semester. There haven't been many. But this is up there. This is up there for me with, like, I don't know, getting high and looking at the statues. Do you guys ever do that? Sometimes I get high and I go look at the statues. And there's some cute ones like the bears and the lions. I'm a big fan. What I did yesterday, I stared at the Ben Franklin statue right over there. You guys know that one?
Yeah.
And I was sitting on that little ledge there, and I was just looking at him and I was like, man, where's this guy's cock? Because, like, back in the day, like, okay, think about statues. Back in the day, everyone was naked. Like, what happened? You know, back in the day, they had a good appreciation for the human body. They were like, yes, this guy is so ripped and has such a nice hog that he needs to spend months, if not years, crafting, sculpting, molding to just get this guy's junk everywhere we can see it. And we've lost that. Fucking Ben's layered up out there. What is that doing for me on my walk to class? Unrelated, I'm taking ceramics this semester. So, there's that. Speaking of this semester, I don't know, I'm a little sad. It's my last semester. It's sad, it's scary. Especially for me because, you know, obviously I'm a senior, I've been here 4 years, but I've been here longer than that. Some of you know I'm from Long Island. So I've always kind of had some association with Hofstra. Our high school would have football games in the stadium. I graduated in the stadium. I walked across the fucking stage, grabbed that useless piece of paper, and, you know, and I'm going to do it again in a few months. But no, I've been thinking a lot about my time at Hofstra and leading up to it. And I was thinking about the first time I came to Hofstra, which was actually for a summer camp. I don't live too far, so my mom, who's an alumni, got a coupon, and she was like, yeah, get this kid out of my house. So, and in case you don't know, the Hofstra summer camp is kind of like college. That's the way it works. You pick a major, right? And so I just picked science, because that was my favorite subject during school. And, you know, you would do, like, science experiments every day. Some poor, underpaid college student would lead you in experiments. And some of them are fun, like rockets and whatever. But the one that I still think about in my nightmares was when we dissected frogs. I was sitting next to this kid, bit of a dickhead. You know the kind, oversized Vans shirt. Oh, I should say, I was 10. So a bunch of 10-year-olds are dissecting frogs, and I got this guy next to me. I never caught his name, but oversized Vans shirt, jorts, you know the kind. And we were dissecting frogs, and I shit you not, we were not one incision in when he turned to me with the most shit-eating grin on his face and said, "You want to know how to tell if it's a boy fuck or a girl?" And like every 10-year-old, I was like, well, yes. So he said, all right, give me a frog. So I slid over on the bench, said, here's my frog. Show me, please. Show me that's up. And he said, okay. And he took his fist and slammed my fucking frog. That shit exploded, and eggs came out all onto me. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? That was my frog! I fucking love that thing! What was that? He was like, see the eggs? Go frog. So, but yeah, that was the academic part. And then they forced swimming onto us. That was the other part of the day, is that they were like, you fuckers are gonna swim. So, we went to the pool, and, you know, it was just like a little bit of swimming. It wasn't a whole day of swimming, so it was like science shit, swimming, more science shit. So it's like we were on a strict schedule. And so we had to get changed fast. But for some reason, they didn't let us use like the locker room, you know, that the pool has right now. Instead, they took us out to the parking lot. And in the parking lot, there were 2 trailers, you know, like a trailer home. They were completely gutted. There was no furniture or anything in there. So it's basically just a box on wheels. And So an underpaid college student would lead me and the rest of the 10 and 11-year-olds into this box and say, change. It's time to swim, put on your bathing suits. And these are a bunch of 10 and 11-year-olds who they're experiencing some changes. And so everyone's very insecure in a box, in a parking lot. So let me lay it out for you. You wanted the corner, all right? The corner, there's most security, all right? I got like a good 180 that no one's stealing my shit, all right? Then, there's only 4 corners, so it's a fucking box. Now, if you couldn't get the corner, you wanted the wall. That's like a good 90 degrees of no one, seeing you. But then, they ran out of space, and you had to stand in the middle. I had a friend named Dan. Just that guy. Because he would just, what else do you, shoved it in. And then Dickless Dan was born. I don't know, everyone whipped the fuck out of him. I really wish I knew where he was now. Probably a cemetery. Yeah, I don't know. Kids are weird. I eventually would be a camp counselor, not here, but in my town, just like the summer rec program. And I thought maybe kids would get more normal around the pool, No, they didn't. We went to the pool. Luckily, it wasn't on a strict schedule like the Hofstra one. It was just a whole day event, and there was no trailers for them to change into. It was well run. But I was put on the first shift to watch these kids, and I had one little kid say, hey, JJ, you want to play with us? I was like, no, but out of curiosity, what are you guys playing? And they were like, we're playing Spa. And I was like, Spa? I don't know that game. What the fuck happened to Marco Polo? All the classics. And I said, oh, I don't know that one. And he said, okay, well, you watch the first one, and then we'll teach you. Sound good? And I was like, yeah, sure. So the way Spa works is that one kid sits on the edge of the pool with their feet in the water, like at the Spa. And then the other kids role play as the fish, suck the shit off your toes. They suck the shit off your toes. And I ran away to go show some other counselors what the fuck was happening. And one of those kids started to fucking drown. Fortunately, there was a lifeguard who saved this kid. And that kid's family was so grateful that they erected a statue of him, and they left the statue butt-ass naked. Thank you very much.
Before we close, I just want to thank all the comics who came out. I want to thank all of you for coming out and supporting the I want to thank my Vice President, Diego Alvarez. Thank you all for coming out. And follow our Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel.